Previously on Talk That Talk.
Even Norfolk State itself is a version of IC Norcom. People don't want to say that out loud. Sorry. If it wasn't for Chief, we wouldn't have what people call the Legion in the way that it is. But let's just leave it there. So it goes both ways. You know, Chief was who he was. We all know how good of a musician he was. You know, and that's the reason why he was able to go from IC Norcom to Norfolk State. You know, and the legions that I hear people talking about are, started with Chief's legions. The Legion was around before Chief. You know, Mr. Hester, Chief, they were the ones that really made that band what it was. You know, Mr. Hester bought the Silkettes. You know, Portia wouldn't have had a section if it weren't for Mr. Hester. So,
Papa Silk.
Right. So at the end of the day, it goes both ways. You know, yeah, Norfolk State ain't called, the Marching 100 or 101. I can't remember whichever one Norfolk was. I think it's one of them. But yeah, man, like it goes both ways. I think what happens, and well, the confusion I have, Maya, is that you'll have a program that call themselves the whatever. Like if I had a band that was named after FAM, FAM's the 100, right? The Marching 100. If you ain't versatile, thanks, Derek. The versatile 100. Norfolk State ain't called the versatile 100. But if I had a band that was modeled after FAM, if I'm not teaching the traditions of musicality that FAM is doing, that's when I have a problem with it. You call yourself the Marching 100, but you let your students go out there and blow their damn brains out without any characteristic sound or thinking about intonation in any way, shape, or form. Like, if you're going to be what those bands are, then truly go after what those characteristics are. I just think it's a situation where people have to be authentic to who they are. You know, it's a lot like what we were talking about on the last show, where people talking about the Virginia Mass Band. In my opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like my opinion. I don't care. Y'all know that. In my opinion, if you are a Virginia Mass Band, you should be a characteristic of the group that is running your state. And in the HBCU band community, yeah, Virginia State, they had some good years. Hampton had some great years. And what Thomas is doing there, he's doing great work. But Norfolk State run Virginia. So if you ain't out there playing with a characteristic sound, which is something that Norfolk does, if you're not out there drilling or trying to do something, that's characteristic, then it's inauthentic. You're just trying to be somebody else that you're not. So that's the way I look at it. And I know, I know they're gonna. I've seen some of the people that are involved, and I would hope that they are able to really make some of those things jump. So I hope the Virginia Mass Band can get numbers, but in general with high schools, man, you should be have your names, do all that stuff, but you should be more focused on what your kids are actually having come out the end of a horn or spinning a flag together or a drum, rather than what the name is or whatever that is. Ugh.
And I do want to say appreciate you, Justin, for sending the information to us about the Virginia Mass Band as well. A lot of Legion people in it. A lot of Legion people over it. So, yeah. All right. Portia, should names be off limits from now on?
I'm kind of split on this thing. But again, it's not I have not experienced it. Like, it's a lot of squads around here that twirl like us or look like the Legion, but none of them have our name. I don't know if I would feel okay if I show up to something like that battle I went to on Saturday and it's green and gold and across her chest is Silkettes or Silk Side or NSU Silks or something. I'm gonna be like, well, what is going on here? Geez, I'm split on that. Like, I think you can model it, but I don't know that you need to have the exact name. I mean, when you look at the history of how these programs started and how these sections got started and the years behind it, I just don't know that it needs to be the exact name. I don't know that I agree with that. But I'm not gonna run up on a high school student and be like, you ain't no real silk. Like, it ain't that deep. Like, they still kids. You know what I'm saying? It would be kind of weird, but I mean, the students didn't give the name. I mean, so they just wearing what, they telling them that they're a part of. So, it's not their fault. But I have mixed feelings on this.
So let me, because I kind of listened to what you said earlier, Portia. Let me ask you guys this question. Let's put it in a Greek sense. All right. If some random group of people was just walking up and they had on Zeta Phi Beta or Omega Psi Phi or Alpha Phi Alpha or Tau Beta Sigma or KK Psi. As a matter of fact, what if they were high schoolers and they had this on, and they came to a function that one of you all were at? What would your perception be? Would it be the same as you all just expressed now, or would it be any different?
Well, I'm going to ask questions, and at some point I'm going to figure out it's a high school student, but and I'll educate them and tell them they can't wear it, but you can't take it off of them. And they want to know how I know. Woo, there was a situation a couple of years ago where our undergrads, they was college day, and they had some stuff in the bookstore, and the young lady, when they purchased a shirt, so they were out there, and she came to the table and they were like, "Hey, how you doing, Sorrow?" She was like, "What's that?" And they talked to her and was like, "Hey, we'll buy you another shirt, but that shirt means this." They bought her a new shirt. She gave him the shirt. She came back with her dad, and he tried to beat up the chapter president. So she had bought and paid for the shirt. It was his defense, and he didn't give a shit about none of that we was talking about. So, I mean, you can educate them, but you can't take it off them. Well, I mean, you could, but Zaysa don't pay no bills. I've said that more than once. So, I mean, it's still the same thing. Like I said, I feel some type of way if they had just silk X across the chest. I think it would help me a little bit if it was in a different color or something. I don't necessarily agree with naming them the exact same thing, but that wouldn't be the fault of the students, is what I'm saying. And that young lady, she didn't know. They educated her. She still went home and, was upset. So I don't know. I'm going to feel some type of way, but what can you do?
I don't know if I don't agree with the comparison of like a high school kid or someone wearing like a Greek org's apparel, just because of the fact that these are founded, established organizations, not traded.
Most of them are trademarked.
Trademark, yes. I said traded. My bad.
Are most of them are most of, and I want to make sure I ask this in the right way, is the organizations of the Greek letters trademark, or are certain things like crests and like that?
I don't know. For us, the name is
okay,
and the Greek letters.
Majority of the actual significant emblems of these organizations there are a lot of false ones, right? Like the dog is not an official, part of Omega, but it depends on what organization you in too, because some organizations allow specific people to wear their organization's letters. I know we have certain instances, other groups do too. So it also just depends on what organization you're talking about. I think here's what I'm gonna get to it, Portia. I'm gonna just
God dang it.
I'm gonna say it. I think these, in the words of Prof. Jones, I think a lot of these people overvalue their importance to the world, not to their group, to the world. Your band is only important to you and the people that marched in your band. Somebody from the hood that just so happened to get their hand on the Norfolk State shirt don't care nothing about that initiation we had to do to be in the Legion. And you walk up on the wrong person, you will get yourself killed. Stop. It ain't that serious. I'm sorry. I'm not about to fight nobody because I see somebody in an Omega shirt. I'll say so. You know, are you Omega and all that? But I got more to lose than sitting up in the middle of the mall trying to fight somebody because they got on a shirt that they didn't. Okay, sorry. You know, I know people ain't gonna like to hear it, but I'm gonna say it. I don't care. You know, it ain't that serious. You know, respect is respect. I think we should always do that, right? You know, if you're able to educate in a respectful way. But it used to always bother me, man. These people acting like goons. We are college educated people. Person got the shirt on, you can offer to buy them a new shirt, like you know, like they did Portia. That's cool. If the young lady, you know, however she took it, that's how she took it. Now I don't agree with no man trying to fight a woman. You know, like we can discuss that too. You know, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I just don't. I don't.
I mean,
Somebody hit the cute all dad and named the bros. I don't care. I am.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to pause for a second, really quick before you go. My hold your thought.
okay.
Only reason I'm saying that is because I remember distinctly when I sent you that video of them chicks who was throwing the hooks with the boots on, and I can't remember the name of the organization, but you was hot. You were hot.
I was hot, but I don't
He
care.
didn't say he would like it. He said
Right.
he ain't gonna fight him.
Okay,
Right.
got you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No matter.
I don't
My
have to
bad,
like
my bad.
it, but yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
feel
not about
some
to
kind of
drive
way.
Yeah. Wait, okay.